Welcome back. Whether you're new or you're coming back again, we're going to jump into it. We have a lot to cover today. Markets still selling off. Bitcoin and gold, the short squeeze is in, right? They're both pumping like crazy. And we'll dive into all that. We're going to dive into all that. We've been talking about it, covering it every single day. And we're going to continue to cover it. So market's selling off. We're going to jump right into it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I'm going to get through all the comments. I'm going to, and then if you're new to the channel, the first 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to go through all the important charts, that, we kind of go over on a daily basis and keep covering. Important to me, at least. And then on the second half, 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to go through your chart requests. So if you subscribe to the channel, as you see up here in the right-hand corner, if you subscribe to the channel, then you can comment what asset you want me to chart. Just make sure to put in the ticker symbol. If it's crypto, if it's a stock, let me know what it is in case it's not on the sniper watch list. I can search for it a lot faster. Let me know the name of it, the symbol, and then the context. Like, are you looking for a long position? Are you holding a long position? Are you looking to short it? So we can talk about it in real time and talk and discuss it all. Good morning, Lawrence. Good morning, Colston. Don't forget to smash the like button. Awesome. Thanks, Colston. I appreciate it. Welcome back. The goal is 100 plus likes. We're getting closer and closer. We haven't hit the goal yet, so we're going to keep talking about it until we hit the goal. So with all of that, let's dive into the charts. We're going to make the charts a little bit bigger here. Let's start with the NASDAQ, right? So the quick recap. We're always going to do a quick recap. We want to take a look at the charts, kind of zoom out. Is it still what we're looking at here overall, right? We had the bearish divergence. We had the first lower high, came down, hit the target box, won natural gas. We'll get to it. It's definitely on the list. It's still the exact same thoughts as before one, the previous live stream. So we won't spend too much time on it. It's in correction mode right now. So lower high, breakdown, hit this first longer term target box, reversal candle, pushed up very, very quickly, started to lose momentum. We were talking about back here before we started live streaming. We started live streaming September 6th, right? We were talking about it on the Discord. We were talking about it on the Twitter X app. And then we went live, right? September 6th. And so price bounced off, and then we're covering this early on in the live stream. So you can go back to previous live streams, check it out, back test us, verify us, right? And then we're talking about, is this going to be the second lower high? Is it going to be? Is it going to be? And then it started to break down. And then we had a candle close back below the upward trend line. We had a candle close below the trending dots. And then price sold off and came all the way back down and retested the same target box. Retested it, right? Then we had another bounce and it was pushing up, right? Big move up, right? The bulls are back in. The bulls are feeling good again, right? And then it starts to lose momentum. And we talked about this every single day. Starting to lose momentum, starting to lose momentum, starting to lose relative strength. On October 12th, see this vertical line. October 12th is when I put my short position on for the NASDAQ. It was based off of course, the daily chart. Of course, it looked like it was losing momentum. Had wicked down first, then came back up. And on the lower time frames, it was starting to look bearish. It was starting to look like some bearish divergence on the lower time frames. And I sent out the text to the immediate family, right? Of course, nobody is getting more information than us together sniping the markets all day, every day. But I had to send out a text to my immediate family. I have a huge family, both on my mom's side and my dad's side. There's no way I'm going to text everybody and field hundreds of questions. I'm not their financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just showing you what I see in the charts. I care about you. I care about my family. And so I sent out a text. I sent out a text to them middle of December as well. Hey, talk to your financial planner. I'm not your financial planner. I'm not your financial advisor, but I think the markets are going to go down. In hindsight, NASDAQ corrected 37.5%. Then we were talking about a potential rally. It rallied more than I thought. It hit higher targets than I thought. Um, it was a great rally, right? To be on the right side and not be a perma bear, right? And we didn't miss out on the initial drop in 2021 because we're not a perma bull, right? We're swing traders. We need to be on the right side of the swing trade so we can make money, right? That's the whole purpose of all this, right? So October 12th, I texted the family and I said, hey, this is like, I texted you. I only texted them twice. I texted them mid-December 2021, and then I texted them on October 12th, all verified. Middle of December, just a quick recap. Then the only person that really had a follow-up question was my mom, right? She had a follow-up question. I told her to talk to her financial planner, give her the questions to ask, should we be going to cash, all that stuff, right? That hindsight, she went to cash, right? She went to cash. She was making over 5% in CDs. She had money markets, 3 to 4%. And then participated, not the whole portfolio, but participated in the rally as well. Not the entire rally because I don't have time to manage her money, right? And I don't want that burden on me. And then the second text I sent to the family, it was October 12th. Not only did my mom follow up with me, now big brother followed up with me, right? And he basically just copy and pasted my text, sent it to his quote unquote hot shot financial advisor, right? And the financial advisor responded with, we just had a partners meeting and the partners agree that there's quote unquote value coming to the markets, right? So they didn't say the market was crashing. I put out videos that, market crash, all that stuff. It's good for, it could have a market crash, but it's also good for clickbait, to be honest, right? It's good for the click throughs, but crash confirmed, right? We were talking about this 5 days ago. Market crash. We put this out 3 weeks ago of the NASDAQ, right? So if you missed those videos, go back. We took a deep dive on a Saturday for you. 3 weeks, took a deep dive, 25 minutes on a Saturday, took a deeper dive in the SP 500, impact Bitcoin, all that stuff 5 days ago. And we took a deeper dive for 21 minutes on Saturday as well. So definitely go back, take a look at those. We covered it all day by day, video by video, and stream by stream. You guys have all been here with me, guys and gals, every single day. We're trying to sniper the markets, right? So October 12th, I don't just read the charts and don't do anything about it. I bet on it, right? I bet on this. I took a short on the NASDAQ futures and my average fill price was 15,314 and 25 cents. I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I posted that on the Twitter X app with a screenshot of it. So I put my money where my mouth is. I put it, whether we win or lose, right? But I'm not a billionaire, so I can't lose, right? I have to win more often than not. None of this is financial advice. I could lose, right? But as of right now, I'm not losing this NASDAQ short. We're already in the money. We are already posting. We're up 4-digit gains, back in here. So the short position is in. I'm holding my short position. I put it on Twitter X app. Average fill 15,314. It's not to brag. It's not to anything like that. What I'm most proud of, and when you see me smile, is the market snipers. I'm so proud of, I'm just going to name a couple. I'm so proud, of course, of Dr. Nick, right? There's a whole list. I'm proud of Colson, Arnold, Morning Boss. I was just going to name you. I'm very proud of Arnold. He was in a 8x Tesla short. Arnold, are you still in that 8x Tesla short, right? And you took it pretty high, kind of like I did on the NASDAQ future short up here. You got in early on the Tesla short. So let me know if you're still holding that. It was starting to get oversold, quote unquote, as we say in the market snipers, sometimes when the magic happens, right? So I'm interested, all your guys' success. So if you're in short positions right now, if entry price 257, oh my God, that's amazing. I love it. What's the current price right now? Well, we'll get into Tesla. So, man, nothing. It doesn't really put that big of a smile on my face on my wins anymore. Obviously, I'm happy, right? But this smile, this emotion I'm feeling is because I want you to win. I want you to sniper the markets. I want you to be able to change your life. It makes me feel good. That's why I'm doing it. This short by itself is going to pay me way more than what the Market Sniper website is going to pay me in a month, right? So, yes, I do make money off of Market Snipers. Absolutely. It's a subscription model. It's a pay to play. But in my opinion, I put in way more value than what it costs you $29 a month or $79 a month. I always want to outperform what the cost is. And I could tell you this short is going to pay off way more than what I make an entire month, maybe two, right? Maybe more, right? We don't know. We're not going to count our chickens before they hatch. But what really makes me pumped up, what really gets me going is seeing you guys' success. So we're going to continue to sniper the markets together. Sorry, it's a lot more of a ramble or rant than usual. We're going to get back to the charts and we're going to go right down the list. Let's jump into the Dow Jones. Kind of been leading the way, right? Let's jump over to the weekly chart on the Dow Jones because we don't even have, wait, we do. No, we don't. We don't. We don't even have, uh, we don't even have a sell signal on the NASDAQ weekly chart yet, right? Could we be back up here, right? We don't even have a big flush down on the weekly chart yet. We don't even have a sell signal yet on the NASDAQ. Is the Dow Jones leading the way? Colson, I can personally vouch to apply appropriately. What I learned in the Sniper group has made many multiples. We're going to come back to this. We're going to circle back. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Colson. I appreciate that. We don't even have a sell signal on the NASDAQ weekly chart yet. We're so far ahead. In hindsight, and it's not always, it's not 100%. Otherwise, I'd be changing my strategy, right? The reversal candle on the Dow Jones weekly chart in hindsight called it, right? Breakdown, right? Higher probability. Come back, retest it. Start to break back down. Higher probabilities. Boom. Starting to drop down to the downside. Had even pushed back up, right? Created this wick, push back up, kind of let the trending dots catch up, let the moving averages catch up. Here we go, S&P 500. We don't have a reversal candle based off of these settings. Maybe if we change the settings, we'd find it on the weekly. We had a reversal candle back down here in the S&P 500. This is the weekly chart. Is this putting in a lower high, right? Is this putting in a macro lower high? This is what we've been talking about. Go to the S&P 500 video that we put out 5 days ago. You know what I'm talking about more and more. Boss, if you have time, can you chart so far? Yeah, it's on the, yeah, I'll get through it for sure. We'll get through it on this. Thank God it's Friday. This is the last stream of the week, but I love it. It's not even a burden. It does take a lot of energy. It is a big time commitment and energy commitment because I really want to bring the fire. I really want to put every ounce of energy into anything that I do. So we don't have a reversal candle like we did on the Dow Jones, but it was telling us, our sharpshooter candles was telling us that price was getting overbought. It was telling us, hey, sometimes when the magic happens, right? And it was getting overbought. So we have the app, we have the sharpshooter candles telling us that, right? Looks like a lower high here as well. We were talking about this. Then we had a sell signal. Then it battled this upward trend line, and now it's breaking back down again. Pending sell signal on the S&P 500. By the end of the day, most likely, and this is a high probability, it flips from a pending sell to a sell signal when the day closes, right? When the week closes. Why did I put this obnoxious magnet down here, the 200-week moving average? Well, because it seems like many stocks have come back to the 200-week moving average. Many stocks are below the 200-week moving average. What could be weighted and keeping the S&P 500 up and the NASDAQ is the Magnificent Seven. And the Magnificent Seven, wow, shocking. is correcting at the same time the SP 500 and the NASDAQ is. The Russell 2000 is already below the 200-week moving average. The Dow Jones, where is it on the 200-week moving average? Down here. It's getting closer and closer to the 200-week moving average, right? The Russell had the reversal candle similar to the Dow Jones on this pivot. Not only did it lose the 200-week moving average, Gert Jan, did I say that right? It's not Gert Jan. Gert Jan, did I say that right? Good evening, everyone from the Netherlands. Awesome, welcome back. Had the reversal candle on the weekly chart similar to the Dow Jones, right? Lower high. Started to lose the 200-week moving average back in September, right? And then just dropped. Messed around with this upward trend line. It looks kind of crazy because I did it based off of the line chart, right? So it was on the line chart, just kind of get like a more clear understanding of where the weekly closes are, because it was pretty wicky and choppy. So that's why it looks a little bit like that. It looks like a weird trend line. Obviously, you could, kind of probably clone it here and then put it on the wicks as well. And pretty close, right? So, but it is based off of the line, right? So that's why it looks like a weird thing. But it battled, and then just dropped down. And now it's flushing down. And you start to get weekly closes back below. This last line of defense here for the bulls is, they're going to battle all the way down. Well, yeah, it lost the 200-week moving average. Okay. Well, you still got this upward trend line. Okay. Loses that upward trend line. Well, you still got this horizontal support and this key target area. Okay, great. But then after that, then the probabilities continue to increase that we're going to see these lower prices sub 1600, getting into that 1500 range, possibly sub 1500 on the Russell 2000. We're going to take it level by level. That's what we do. We don't count our chickens before they hatch, as they always say, right? Dow Jones. Not the Dow Jones. We already covered the Dow Jones. The DXY, still bullish on the weekly chart. Could it correct and retrace back to, it hit target 1? Could it hit target 2, target 3, target 4 before bouncing up? Yeah, it definitely could. So we're kind of waiting and watching for it. It doesn't really impact my decision making on the NASDAQ short, but it's an awareness. I keep a close eye on it. It's always on the chart, right? But it's still bullish. It's still bullish. And even if it comes back down, hits target 2, finds support at the trending dots, expecting it to bounce from there as of right now. 10-year yield, still ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? People calling tops all the way up. Macro experts calling pullbacks and tops on the 10-year yield ever since the breakout of this downward 40-year trend line, right? We've been covering it. We've been on top of it. These targets are based off of a breakout of the 40-year longer-term trend line. Target 1, everyone calling for a pullback. No way the Fed's going to let the system break, right? No way, right? All the way up. We trust the charts. We trust our eyes. We trust what we see. We've prepared for this. We've obsessed over the charts, probably more than anybody. Maybe someone obsessed with the charts more than me. I don't know. But I've been pretty obsessed with the charts for a long time. Weekly chart is still ultra bullish. The monthly chart is still ultra bullish, right? It's on this very vertical and parabolic trend line. The trend could be your friend until the end, unless you're guessing tops, unless you're guessing bottoms. Good morning, everyone. The bond USDT, please. It's a crypto asset on the bite. Okay, we're going to get into all the comments. We're going to definitely get through everyone's comments, questions, and we're going to chart as many of your requests as possible on the second half. 19 minutes in, still bullish on the 10-year yield. We've been calling this, talking about it. Back here, May 2023 is looking like a possible long-term bullish flag. We were talking about that back here. Others are now starting to talk about it. You go back to the X app, you go back to the Discord. I had this channel drawn out, looks like a longer-term bullish flag. You know my thoughts. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know my thoughts about patterns hitting their targets, the percentage of it. But if it were to hit that, it would come all the way up into the 6% range. And I think many won't be prepared for what would come to the markets if that were to happen. Uh, SQQ, opportunity alert. We've been talking about it. We've been covering it. We don't even have a buy signal on SQQ on the weekly chart yet. The opportunity alert. However, I do have to say, I put out this video. Go take a look at it 3 weeks ago. High risk. It was a Bitcoin update and a high risk opportunity. We're talking about SQQQ 3 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago. So go take a look at that. It is a high risk. It's a 3x QQQ NASDAQ ETF bear inverse 3x leverage. That's why it's high risk. It's a money losing asset to hold it long term, betting against the markets. However, it could be a quick move if you're not prepared to short the market like I did on the Nasdaq futures. If you don't feel comfortable, this is still a high risk, but obviously not as high risk as shorting the Nasdaq with futures. That's even more high risk. This is the lesser version, but I personally took and bought, as full disclosure, I bought the stock ETF SQQQ with no options this time. I've bought options in the past, but without options, I did buy the stock ETF. It's already a 3x leverage, but it is a high risk opportunity. Don't do it unless you know what you're doing, unless you feel comfortable. You've done the principles, but we've been talking about this. I put out the video 3 weeks ago. So let's see, 3 weeks ago, end of October, early September, we were talking about it. Watch for the next correction. We'll put in a higher low, right? It did. It put in a higher low, and then we had a buy signal, just under $20, a close back above the trending dots, right? Got rejected and closed just below this trend line up here. Broke through, came back tested it at $20.19, and now there's follow through to the upside, right? There's not even a buy signal on the weekly chart yet. Doesn't mean there couldn't be in the near future, right? There definitely could be in the near future, but not even a buy signal on the weekly chart yet. So will it? It's possible, but as of right now, I'm personally playing this on as a stock purchase, and I'm waiting and watching, holding it, kind of like similar to my short, but a lower risk and a little bit more than lunch money, right? Not like lunch money where I would lose the money and like be upset about it, like lunch money where like you go out and take a friend out to a nice lunch, right? A nice expensive lunch, and you lose that and you don't even think twice. So a little bit more than probably a nice steak dinner, right? So a little bit more than that, but definitely not something that, not as much as invested as the NASDAQ futures short that I have. But, I put this out as an opportunity alert, and I did a video on it. So I definitely wanted to participate, and that way I kept an eye on it a little bit closer because I have money invested into it, right? So it makes me like more accountable to myself if I'm doing a video on it and I'm putting it out as an opportunity alert. Then I definitely want to participate and keep an eye on it. The VIX. Now we move over to the VIX. We were talking about it, talking about the breakout back here, the buy signal on the live streams, the Discord, everywhere. New comments. We're gonna get to all of them. Wow, we got a lot of comments. Awesome. West Diddy. Hello, everyone. My man, Lawrence, Luis, Rick's Money, everyone, right? Had the buy signal back here on the daily chart, another buy signal down here after a correction and a higher low. Moving over to the weekly chart. We had a buy signal on the weekly chart, right? We had a buy signal. We talked about this even on the live streams. We did talk about this. By the way, how many likes do we have on our Friday? We have people listening to the Market Snipers on a Friday. This is awesome. This is amazing. Thank you for spending your time with me on a Friday. You could be doing other things, maybe some more fun things. But what's more fun than covering the charts together that we look at every single day and watching what we're calling out work out in real time? So on the daily chart, we talked about this wild animal, right? And now on this weekly chart, We have this could be a first weekly close above. Remember, I talked about this the last couple of days. I didn't love this trend line, right? And maybe you would even want to change it over to a log chart, but I'm keeping it on linear, right? So the longer term trend line, you'd probably want to go to log at some point, just because it calculates the percentages, right? But I'm going to leave it as is. And I talked about this. I don't love it, but I did draw the point to point from March 2020 to March 2023. And then it got rejected. It got rejected and then came back down, right, to $16 on the VIX. And now this would be the first weekly close above this long-term downward trend line. And if it flips, it comes through, hits this fourth target. There was another target down here. I took it off to kind of keep the charts clean. If it breaks through, flips these preliminary targets from from resistance into support, and comes up, that's where we're going to see a potential massive move in the stock market, the indices, stocks, possibly Bitcoin, possibly gold, possibly crypto, right? Anything that's bouncing. Remember, we trade the charts individually. So just because the NASDAQ is correcting doesn't mean Bitcoin is. And I'm going to show you one example. I posted this on the Twitter X app yesterday that it blows my mind and nobody got it. Nobody guessed it. I mean, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But I want to show you one chart next of why we trade the charts separately and we don't get too set in our ways. We don't get too set in our narratives. We have to stay fluid and neutral, right? So if it flips these preliminary targets into support, then we're looking at possible, and I kind of hand drew these out, possible targets to the upside. Who knows after that, right? This is March 2020. What if it's a bigger correction than March 2020? What if it's a bigger correction than 2008 or similar? You can see the VIX spike all the way up here, right? So we'll keep an eye on it every day in, day out. Here we go. All right. Moscow Exchange. This is what I want to talk about, right? Talk about an opportunity. Now, I didn't trade this, but imagine, right? Way back in October, well before the Ukraine and Russian war, right? Well before. I think that news came out, I believe it was February 2022, right? So February 2022. And then you had this big, could the war add to it? Absolutely, right? But the market, Moscow Exchange was already getting pushed down. So February 2022, the war happened. Oh, yeah, Black Swan event, right? Okay, you could say that, I guess. And it dropped another 50%, right? So could the war news have added to it? The Ukrainian and the Russian war, right? Yeah, it could have. But the weekly chart sell signal was October 2021, right? October 2021. And there wasn't a buy signal until December 2022. So assets can remain bearish for a lot longer than we think. There may not be bounces along the way. And what an amazing opportunity if you had shorted this all the way down, right? And then an amazing opportunity. Doesn't mean it's going to be bearish forever, right? Then amazing opportunity. It rallied past all my targets. I had these targets mapped out because I was watching the Moscow Exchange. I was watching it. I didn't trade it, but I was watching it even well before the breakdown from the Russian-Ukrainian war. Then I watched it, and then I saw the buy signal. I saw the bullish divergence, right? I saw the long-term bullish divergence. We'll be there for whatever assets we're trading, right? Even if there is a huge crash like the Moscow Exchange, for the NASDAQ, for the Dow Jones, all that stuff. It loses the 200-week moving average. It comes all the way down like many stocks have, many large stocks have. What if the NASDAQ does that? What if SP 500? I don't think it's the end of the world if the NASDAQ does that. Look at the Moscow Exchange. Look at the opportunity that it is to the downside, followed by bullish divergence, right? And the bullish divergence took, 6 months, right? Followed by a higher probability reversal with a buy signal, followed by target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. I mean, this looks like Meta, right? This looks like Facebook. This looks like Netflix. They all look very similar. came all the way back up to make all-time highs and has been overbought for basically going back to February 2023. It's been overbought for so long. What an amazing opportunity to the downside. What an amazing opportunity back up to the upside. This is why it's so bright. The future is so bright as a market sniper, playing it both sides, not holding, not hodling forever, right? What an amazing opportunity this could be if the NASDAQ, if the Dow Jones, if the SP 500, if the Russell 2000 were to follow the Moscow exchange downward, put in bullish divergence, and then rally back to all-time highs. What an amazing opportunity. You could hear the energy in my voice because it could be life-changing. I'm already seeing market snipers have life-changing trades, 6-digit trades. They're telling me in private direct messages. I'm not going to call anyone out because that's a private direct message between us. I do like to celebrate people's wins. I was able to get out of real estate mortgage, even though it was very good money early 2021 because of 6-digit wins, right? What an amazing opportunity. What a great time. Even when the markets are crashing, there are Tesla John. Hope you have a good weekend. Jesse got on here, so I'm going to rewind. Awesome. Bikes and fins. Yes. Tesla John, welcome back. What an amazing opportunity we have. Okay, let's keep going. I just wanted to show you, even though there's a Russian war going on, even though there is a weekly sell signal October 2021, what an amazing opportunity it was to the downside, even though the war is still going on and at first February 2022 in the markets as a swing trader, whether it's the daily chart, the weekly chart, whatever. What an amazing opportunity we have, right? And I can tell you this simple $29 a month sharpshooter candles weekly chart, this alone would have probably outperformed many experts out there, right? And we're not going to just rest on that. We're going to try to sniper even better to that. So let's keep going. I want to jump over to Magnificent Seven. I like covering that as well. NVIDIA doesn't even, what an amazing opportunity this was. This is the all-time high, came all the way back to 200-week moving average. Not only did it blow through all my targets, it blew through them. The AI craze came out, right? And it just took off to the upside. What an amazing opportunity. I missed it. We were talking about the buy signal back here. We had targets all the way up here, right? I wasn't in NVIDIA, but I know some people were in it, and I'm definitely jealous of their move. That was an amazing move, right? I'm not shorting NVIDIA right now, but we have one of our snipers who is short NVIDIA right now, right? So I don't like to be in everything all at once. I like to be hyper focused on like 1 to 3 trades at a time. But what an amazing move that was. And now after that, we talked about on this channel, bearish divergence, right? What after that amazing opportunity, it left a 20% plus gap, right? The market makers made a 20% gap. It gapped up. We talked about this bearish divergence. We talked about bearish divergence. We talked about bearish divergence, right? All-time high plus bearish divergence, right? We love that. Came back down to this key target area, bounced. We got a reversal candle. We talked about some of the live streams since September 6th, right? So September 6th was our first live stream. We talked about this candle close below, talked about the bearish divergence plus all-time high, came back down. We said, watch out. At some point, it's going to put in a lower high from the bearish divergence. This is starting to not confirmed, but basically confirmed. Reversal candle. We talked about a lower high, reversal candle plus lower high, higher probability of the breakdowns, right? Doesn't mean it won't have another second lower high at some point before coming down here. Doesn't mean it's going to come straight back down and fill this 20% gap. But we do know is the market makers made a 20% gap, and the market makers, I'm 99.99999% sure They won't leave a 20% gap open. Now, the question is, when will the gap be filled? That we don't know. We don't have a magic crystal ball over here. We just have experience of obsessing over the charts, looking at them, and we know when a rubber band gets pulled and stretched out one direction, to the upside, if the rubber band's getting pulled out far to the upside, then it doesn't just even come back to the middle, but it gets stretched out in the opposite direction, right? So that's what we expect. That's what we know. That's NVIDIA. Had the sell signal, not even a sell signal on the weekly chart yet. The opportunity is there, but the opportunity was back here, right? I wouldn't be shorting now, right? It already had the sell signal, already had the reversal candle, already had a candle close below it, right? Getting in now is not a sniper entry, right? Sniper entry is back in here, right? This is the sniper entry. Oh my God. Thank God it's Friday. Make sure we're smashing the likes. Make sure we're subscribed to the channel so we can chart your asset requests. Make sure we were help me, help you, help me, help you. You know the drill. That's NVIDIA. Let's keep going. We're already at 36 minutes. Meta, we talked about this, right? Put in additional bearish divergence. What a short squeeze that was. We saw this big momentum push up. It started to lose momentum, right? Started to lose relative strength. It was starting to look very toppy, right? Put in that wick up there. Put in bearish divergence, right? MACD bearish crossover, right? RSI sell signal. We were talking about this. It was looking like a lower high. You can go back to previous live streams. We talked about it, covered it day in, day out. Now we have a pending sell signal, right? At some point, could it put in additional bearish divergence? Yes. Is it becoming less likely? Yes. Eventually, it's not going to keep putting in bearish divergence, right? At some point, it is going to put in another lower high, but this is looking like a sneaky lower high. So bearish divergence followed by possibly sneaky lower high and a pending sell signal, right? No sell signal on the weekly chart yet, I'm assuming. Nope. And could be had a bearish divergence back here, right? And this could be a lower high on the weekly chart. We did have the MACD bearish crossover already. We already had the RSI sell signal. This could be that we've been talking about even before this week of the early October, 3 weeks ago. We were talking about, could this be a lower high on the weekly chart, right? Even though the last 3 weeks it pushed up and created these wicks, it never closed higher than the 315. That's where it's so sneaky, right? That's why I say it's sneaky, is it put in bearish divergence on the daily chart, but on the weekly chart, it could be putting in a lower high, right? That's where it's sneaky. This is, if you take off this sharpshooter candles, this is a bearish engulfing candle, right? It's not part of my swing trading strategy, but it is something to be aware of, that this is a bearish engulfing weekly candle, and the weekly candle closes today. So this is a bearish candle, right? A bearish hammer candle, right? Started with the wick way up here, 330, trapping in the bulls, right? Close back below this close here, right? Very important. Pushed all the way back up, trap some more bulls. Meta, Facebook taking off. They're releasing their new goggles, whatever, right? Whatever it is. This is a bearish engulfing weekly candle, right? Very bearish, right? Putting in a lower high. That's Meta. Pending sell signal on the daily chart, right? Bearish divergence, right? So very sneaky, but they're not getting it by us snipers. That's why we're here. We're snipering the markets together. Amazon looking more bearish, right? Amazon, one of the few that came back to and went below. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get this right. Let me zoom out. One of the few Magnificent Sevens, Meta was one of them as well, that came all the way back down to March 2020 lows. Rallied barely reclaim the 200-week moving average, right? And then put in a lower high here. And now we have a pending sell signal. It is bearish below the 200-week moving average. It is a pending sell signal. It seems like we're coming back down, eyeball test to here, possibly retest the March 2020 lows. Who knows from there? Maybe it goes below the March 2020 lows. It is bearish on Amazon, pending sell signal on the weekly chart. Microsoft, right? Starting to break down, right? It's been trending down on the weekly chart. Let's zoom in on the daily chart, right? We've been talking about this. We've been waiting for it. We've been calling it out. Bearish divergence came down, target one. Was it going to put in a lower high? It did. Reversal candle came back tested it, pushed it up even higher. Sell signal came back down, put in a lower low. We're talking about lower highs, but we're not. I forget to talk about the lower lows, right? A lower low. We're talking about this. Is it going to put in, a lower high here, right? Or is it going to push all the way up here? In hindsight, this was still the lower high, right? Even though it was wicking up multiple days in a row, it never closed back above higher than here, right? It never closed back above. So now we have, this will be the first daily candle close back below this trend line, back possibly below the trending dots. Next up is the sell signal, right? The sell signal is next. Putting in a higher probability that we're going down, right? That Microsoft will possibly come back down and test these lower levels, possibly put in a lower low, and then continue to trend downward. We got the 200-week moving average way down here, $256. I put out a lot of prices on the X app. Are we going to see Microsoft below 300? Are we going to see, NVIDIA below blah, 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 right? I posted all that on the X app, and we'll see. Now here we are, Tesla, right? We talked about this, Tesla. We covered this over and over and over again. We had Tesla John back here. Before we get into Tesla John, right? We were talking about this pattern was looking very similar to silver, right? It was looking like it was in this consolidation pattern. It was looking very similar to silver. We're talking about, will this be the lower high, right? It was starting to look like that. Then we had a candle close here. It was starting to look like that. On the live streams, we talk about the sell signal back below the trending dots, back below the trend line, right? This more vertical trend line. We had the first candle close here, October 12th, right? Same day I texted my family. That's a coincidence. That's a coincidence. October 12th. Sell signal back below the trending dots. It's the probabilities of continuing to stack. It found support on this longer term upward trend line. I had it drawn differently. And it found temporary support. Tesla John was on the live stream commenting. He missed out on a scalp right here because I was talking about the sell signals and it's breaking down. But that doesn't really impact us, John. A, we don't tell you what to do. B, you shouldn't follow what I do. And C, it's a downtrend. So missing a scalp on a 5-minute chart or a 1-minute chart, okay, yeah, you could do that. But I'd rather take it to the downside, right? You're counter trading against to the upside, maybe because of narratives, maybe because you're biased, maybe because you're a Tesla bull, right? But we're just reading the chart as it is, right? And it's breaking down. So yeah, you said on that you missed this push back up, back into the trending dots, and then the next day it pushed right back down, and then the next day it gapped down, and now it's ultra bearish, right? On the daily chart, quote unquote, getting oversold, but it can remain that way, right? It's trending down, it's breaking down, and it's bearish, it's ultra bearish until it's not, right? So Tesla, we've got Arnold in the house, market sniper, shorted Tesla at 257. Let's look at this. So before the sell signal, as it's breaking down, right? You got this candle close below at 258. He's in hindsight, he's looking very early, right? 257. great entry in my opinion, right? Great entry at 257. And he posted, and this is what I'm talking about because it wasn't a private direct message. He posted this on the X app. You can follow Arnold over there. On the X app, he's starting to post charts. By the way, Arnold is our first ever in a year and a half. I don't feel like we need moderators. I don't feel like it. We have a very tight, strong community I'm very proud of. And but we made an announcement. Arnold is our first ever moderator. He's part of the Sniper team now. So shout out to Arnold. He's in a Tesla 8x leverage short. I love it. Even if he traded, I don't know how much he traded. We're not going to ask him. But even if he traded $1,000, right? That's 16%, right? Multiply by 8, right? And you can get the point that he's already probably flipped $1,000 into what is that? Into more than probably $2,000, right? I don't know, simple math. I'm not going to pull up the calculator or anything like that, and I'm not some math genius, right? Maybe maybe a little bit more than from $1,000, $2,000. You don't have to tell us, Arnold, but just want to let you know that that's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 trading days, taking $1,000 or whatever it was. Maybe it was $100. I don't know. Maybe it's $10,000. I don't know. Taking that in 6 days, flipping that and doubling the money, right? So push it as long as you can. Great job, my man. Awesome. I love it. Couple more, and then we're going to get into all the comments. We're going to get into all the questions, all the requests. We're rocking and rolling. We talked about Apple, right? Another lower high. It's been playing out almost exactly the way we've been calling it, right? Lower highs all the way. Target 1, target 2, right? Another lower high. Where would that lower high be, right? Another candle close below, right? Another sell signal. Came back to back test it, getting more and more bearish on Apple, right? Crossing over MACD, couldn't even make it back above the zero line really, and is look like is crossing back over on the daily chart, weekly chart. Another pending sell signal on the weekly chart. We've been covering Apple and the breakdown since July, right? We talked about and covered the lower high back here in August, right? And then we were talking about the sell signal when we went on the live streams, right? Then we were talking about another lower high. The probabilities continue to increase that Apple is coming down to the third target, possibly the fourth target, possibly back to the 200-week moving average. It's one of the few assets that went and made a higher high, like NVIDIA. But NVIDIA did retest the 200-week moving average, where the Apple did not. It's one of the few that have not yet. This is a very vertical rally, followed by, it's hard to kill a bull, and it's slow at first, and then it becomes fast, right? How many likes? I haven't looked at the comments. How many likes do we have? We should be in the 30 range, 25 range. We should be getting there. Come on, help me, help you, help me. Let's go, rock and roll. We're on fire today, covering everything we've been covering. Nothing is new, right? Bearish divergence on Google, right? This is bearish divergence on the daily chart. Came down, just pierced our target 1, just pierced it, followed by a reversal candle on the daily chart, pushed all the way back up. We talked about this at bearish divergence, right? We talked about on the live streams going back to September, watching the breakdown. Then it broke down. We covered this. We said down here, it's possible we could see a bearish divergence. But I did say I think it's less likely. But in hindsight, there was additional bearish divergence. Bearish divergence. This was looking like a lower high, right? This was looking like a sneaky lower high on the daily chart, right? Starting to break down, right? Starting to break down. Could we see a sell signal in the near future on the daily chart? Yes, I think so. This will be the first candle close back below the trending dots again, signaling higher probabilities of coming back down to test the meat of this target 1, right? Fill this gap at some point. It's not a massive 20% gap, but it's definitely a gap that's on the chart and something to be aware of. A 1% gap, I mean, should I even put it on there? I guess, right? let's just delete it. We don't really need it anyways. Let's measure this one out here, right? This gap, 4% gap, right? So 4% gap, something to pay attention to more. 1% gap, yeah, I'm sure it'll get filled, but it's not a massive 20% gap, anything like that, right? Google starting to break down on the daily chart again, right? Bearish divergence could be a sneaky lower high. Weekly chart, right? If you zoom out on the, oh, hold on. Let's go back to the daily chart. I drew this on a different chart. It's looking like a rising wedge, right? So rising wedge, eyeball test. If you did like some sort of like measurement on it and it breaks down from it, right? Brings price back down here. Again, you know my thoughts overall on it's not enough to trade it based off of a pattern, but I do like it to look at it as like an idea. If it starts to break down, you can see like it's possible that price comes back down to this area, fills the 4% gap, re-hits target 1, target 2, and then we'll find out if it comes back to the 200-week moving average after that. All right, let's look. Now we'll dive into Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, ultra bullish on the daily chart. We've been covering this. We've been talking about it. We talked about it from up here, right? Watch the breakdown. Watch the breakdown. It came down, hit key target areas, went back below 200-week moving average, right? We talked about it back here. Even before we went on the live streams, we saw bullish divergence here, right? Reversal candle after bullish divergence after we went on the live streams, all on the live streams, all on the market updates for the Bitcoin updates on the videos, right? All on those videos. We talked about it. Down here, back here, we were talking about it could take weeks, if not months, and we're expecting a bounce, right? We're expecting to hit targets. It's hit more targets than I expected, right? We expect weeks, if not months, to put in a lower high at some point. We expected it to come back up. Weeks, if not months, to build out a right shoulder. Could still take weeks or months to build out a right shoulder. And then if that happens, we expect price to break down. Great. It's not confirmed to the upside. It's not confirmed to the downside. It's too early to call it yet. Where would we be wrong? Where would we think that this overall plan that we were laid out back in August would come down, find support, bounce, put in a lower high, and break back down? If you look at the weekly chart, right? Kind of zoom out here on the weekly chart and then get rid of all of this scribble, right? We're scribbling hard today, scribbling hard. Where would it be different or wrong, right? Because it's currently bullish on the weekly chart. Is it puts in this lower high. Any weekly close, just as we saw on Meta, right? Price could even push higher, right? On the lower time frames. But if you get a weekly close anywhere below that 30,600-ish, it's a lower high on Bitcoin, right? We got this bearish divergence, right? We had this bullish divergence, right? After bearish divergence, we're expecting a lower high. Any weekly close below 30,600 is still a lower high on Bitcoin. And then we would expect price to go back down to the downside. So any close back above this weekly chart, right? We're going to change our tune. We're going to say, look, we got a weekly close above. It just made a higher high, right? Could it be also future bearish divergence? I think it's possible. I talked about this in the last MACD update as well on the video. I think I talked about it. I think it's less likely that we put an additional bearish divergence in, but it is possible, right? So we're still waiting and watching. And so that's the pivot point, right? A weekly close below. Daily closes above 31,500, also would signal that, right? So it doesn't mean it couldn't wick back up here, very similar to Meta, or was it Meta? No, Microsoft. Was it Meta or Microsoft? I can't remember. We just covered it. Let me see. Meta, right? You got the bearish golfing candle, right? So even though it was wicking up multiple weeks on the daily, it could still have a weekly close below here, right? And still be a lower high, right? So that's what I wanted to kind of show you, that it could still do that, right? So we're not going to get too biased one way or the other, right? So let's get back to Bitcoin. Now, could it still put in this lower high at some point? Yes. Could it still build out this right shoulder? Yes. Could it still take 4 or 5 weeks? Yes. I mean, look at this. It takes 4 or 5 weeks. Takes 4 or 5 weeks. Takes 4 or 5 weeks, right? It could take 4 or 5 weeks and then break down from there. That's why I talked about it could take weeks, if not months, not only to come back up into this area, but then uh, run into resistance and start building out a lower height, start building out a right shoulder. And we'll be there. We'll be watching, waiting. Still no MACD bullish crossover yet. It could. It is looking strong, but we'd still be on our side below 63. It'd still be a lower high. Those are all the things we're waiting and watching for on Bitcoin. So, no, I'm not currently in a short right now. People have asked me that, right? So that's Bitcoin. Gold, another short squeeze, right? Another one. So we talked about the breakdown. We covered it on real time. The daily chart had the weekly sell, came all the way back down. Price was front ran. We were talking about this on the lower time frames. Watch the reversal. Watch the reversal. Then we had a weekly candle reversal. Wild stuff. Weekly candle reversal, right? Followed by a breakout. Then we talked about on the live streams, is this a breakout or a fake out? And we talked about it could even close back below here at just under $2,000 on the weekly chart and still be a lower high. However, right? However, this is a weekly reversal candle, and this would be a weekly close back above this trend line. And that to me would signal that it's less likely a fake out, right? It would be a weekly close back above here. So if we're looking at this objectively, right? We're looking at this from a neutral standpoint. This would be less likely of a fake out, right? Doesn't mean price doesn't come back down and we find our entry. And we talked about this, that even back here, we talked about it could go straight up to the moon, right? But at some point, if this is not a fake out, it would come back down, right? Find support, flip resistance into support, right? And then come back out. So at some point, it's going to put in a higher low, right? I got it. I got it right. At some point, it's going to put in a higher low, whether that's here, right? Or it continues upward and puts in a higher low somewhere up here. I mean, we don't know where this higher low is going to be, right? Or is it come back? Does price come back and retest this trend line and then bounce out? At some point, if this is not a fake out to the upside, right? And the weekly candle closes today, it looks like follow through after the reversal candle. At some point, it's going to put in a higher low. So that's what we're waiting and watching for. Let's get through all the comments. We got a lot here. We went through a lot. We rock and rolled for an hour straight. Whoo! Wow. Doc, first one in the comments today. The BTC daily break or fake out, maybe early, but also gold. No setback just yet. Just rockets. Yep, short squeezes in, right? Rick's Moneymakers Helton, Market Sniper in the house. Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, Market Snipers. Good morning. Good morning, Shooter, by the way. Awesome. Welcome back, Market Sniper. The whole market bleeding. Yep. Remember, I posted this on Twitter, right? Remember, I forgot about this. Remember the ones who set all-time highs. Remember the ones who call it a black swan, right? Remember the snipers call me as it is. Pending sell signal on the SP 500 weekly chart. And then I put in the big obnoxious magnet to the 200-week moving average, pending sell signal. Put a question mark down here at the March 2020 lows. Too early to say, too early to call it. But remember the ones who set all-time highs. Remember the ones who call it a black swan. Remember the snipers calling it as it is, because that's what we do day in, day out together. Let's take a look at it. Let's keep going. Bitcoin and gold short squeeze. You know it, right? You know it. NASDAQ, right? And take off that vertical line. Kind of watch it like this, right? breaking down. Is this a bearish engulfing candle as well on the weekly chart? Is this one as well? It's so close. Yeah, it looks like this is also a bearish engulfing candle on the NASDAQ weekly chart. Very bearish, right? Is it going to take out this pivot low here, right? Seems like it. Seems like it on the NASDAQ. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Rodrigo, good morning. Good morning. Colson, don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you. Colson, longtime sniper. And our resident sentiment sniper in the Discord. The guy posts for us in the Discord 3 to 5 times per week, I think, about crypto and Bitcoin sentiment. Love it. Many is crowd favorite over there for Colson. Awesome job over there. Asset to the community. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the snipers who are contributing members of the community. I can't do it all. It takes a village, right? Lawrence, hi, everybody. Hi, Lawrence. Welcome back. Juan, hello. Jesse, natural gas. Okay, let's do it. We'll come back to that. Now, natural gas, I mean, we covered this already, right? We've been covering this, and it's the same thoughts, Juan. We were talking about this. Hey, it's getting overbought, right? Could be a pullback at some point. We had this gap down here mapped out a long time ago at 266. We talked about some on the live streams. Hey, it was breaking down, right? I can't remember which live stream, a couple of them. Candle closed below the trending dots, continuing trend down, sell signal. Could see it come down, fill this gap, maybe bounce, create a higher low again, and then wait for the next bounce. I still have a magnet up here on the 200-week moving average. Very similar to Bitcoin, very similar pattern. We talked about this in the past. At some point, I still think natural gas comes up and retests the 200-week moving average. Now you're just waiting for a sniper entry. Got the arrow here, watching, waiting. It's going to go through a consolidation pattern, come up, hit multiple targets. If it hits these targets, flip these targets from resistance into support. There we go. Talking super fast. Hope everyone keep up. Let's go. I'm losing my mind today. Woo! 1 hour in, and then we can see it come up and hit this longer term target. Oh, wow. Gotta take a deep breath on that one. One, that's natural gas. One, nice. Yep. Arnold, morning boss. Yep. Awesome. Sniper entry, 257 on Tesla. Running out of water. I'm gonna run out of energy. I'm gonna stick and stay focused now. Starting to take a little bit of profits. Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with taking profits, my man, especially if you doubled or 1.5 your trading position within 6 days. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. However, maybe you drop down the 4-hour chart and wait for it. Maybe you wait for some bullish diversions. Maybe you wait for a 4-hour buy signal, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. I can personally vouch, Colson, that I applied appropriately what I've learned in the sniper group. It has made me many, many, many multiples of what it costs. Yeah, I think so. I mean, one trade from Arnold in the Tesla 8X, I'm sure it covers a year or two, right, of the subscription, right? So we have it priced low for a reason. The reason why we were priced low, we don't have a big paywall. We want as many people to win as possible. We understand not everyone has millions of dollars. We understand $1,000 is a lot for people. We understand that 60-something% of Americans, I don't know what it is for other countries, live paycheck to paycheck. We understand the middle class is eroding. We understand that the market snipers, maybe $100 is a lot to them right now because they don't even have $400 in a savings account. We understand Americans have more debt now than they've ever had before. We understand that the credit card interest rates are, over 21%, probably closer to 30%. We understand that the young people are in a lot of college debt with high interest rates. We understand the mortgage debt. We understand all that. We're keeping the prices low, right? And we understand we could charge a lot more, but we don't. I had people before we ever started the Discord, going back to 2021, getting scammed $1,000 of someone pretending to be me and charging them $1,000 a coach. Our coaching is $79 a month, and you get all these indicators. We get not all these. We get 2 indicators, bot alerts, community, you name it. We got it for $79 a month, right? All right. Oh, Rick's, I'm very happy with my price for subscription. Awesome value that you give us, Jesse. Yep. Rick is newer to the Sniper Discord, but not newer to watching us on the Twitter X app. So Rick's been around for a long time. Appreciate you. Thank you for all your support, Rick. Boss, if you have any time, chart SoFi. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to SoFi. No, we didn't ask your guys. Let's just do SoFi while we're taking a look at it. I haven't looked at it's on the watch list, Arnold, but I haven't looked at it in a day or so. I don't think. Let me just put in the search, right? Let's just put in the search. It'll come up as a look for it. Let's see, SoFi. There it is. There it is. Yeah, so still breaking down, right? Had this big move up, and we haven't really talked about it. We were talking about it on the breakout, right? And we're talking about, it's getting overbought and, bearish divergence and all that stuff. So we haven't really talked about it as like the next move up. So, it could come all the way back down lower. Maybe it's finding key support now, but it's still a sell signal, still a sell right now. Could come back down, put it in a higher low at some point. So not much to report here. We do have a pending sell signal on the weekly chart. So this could just be a lower high, another lower high, bearish weekly engulfing candle, right? So it's bearish right now. It's not I don't know if you're shorting it, Arnold, but it's bearish right now. So not much to report there. Gert, good evening. Welcome back, Gert. Gert Jan. I think I said that. I think I say that correctly. Luis, good morning. Welcome back. Lawrence, Bond USDT. It's a crypto asset. Yeah, Lawrence, thank you. Bond USDT. That helps me, letting me know it's a crypto asset. I appreciate that because it helps me save time on the search, right? So Bond USDT, Binance. Let's take a look at it. I don't think I've ever charted this, right? I don't think I ever have. Had a buy signal on the weekly chart. Not a ton of history. One of those pump and dumps, it looks like, all the way up to $74. Been in a bear market since October 2021, Lawrence. It's tough because it's only a couple of weeks up, and then it's the rest of the time down. Basically, this was a 1 week pump and dump. This was like a multi-week pump and dump, right? This is a multi-week pump and dump followed by a reversal candle. I mean, so you just have to be aware that it's like catching lightning in a bottle, and it's not interesting to me, right? I like to stack probabilities in my favor. This is like when I say it's like catching lightning in a bottle, it becomes more of a gamble, right? And yes, I am into high risk assets. Yes, I use leverage and it's high risk. So if I'm using high risk leverage or high risk assets, I want more chart history than just a quick pump and dump where like this looks even worse than like the VIX on the weekly chart, right? It's just not for me. But if it's for you, awesome, great. That's up to you. Let's drop down the daily chart, and we'll look at it from here, right? So you had the daily chart reversal candle and went immediately from a buy signal and reversal candle right into overbought, right? Big wick down, right? Comes back, finds support, and then you don't know at this point, right? Was that it for the bounce? It's basically guessing, right? So I don't know. It's tough. So you look at it, could be finding support. It could bounce to the moon, right? But it's just not enough for me because at the end of the day, that could just be it. That could have been the bounce, right? So not much else really to say. Sorry, Lawrence. Don't have much more. West Diddy, my man. Welcome back. Tesla John. Hope you have a good weekend, Jesse. Just got on here, so I'm going to rewind to the beginning. Go Vikes and go Vins. Thanks, Tesla John. Welcome back. Jin Chow, sir. Awesome. welcome back, Wang. Welcome back to the channel. Andre, yo, welcome back, Andre. Huart, finally I can join the live show. Great work, Jesse. Hey, if you've been on the replay crew, Huart, then awesome. We need you on the replay crew too. We need the replay crew. They're very important. But if you can be here on a live stream, awesome. Some of the market snipers are on the live stream at 3 or 4 a.m. I'm sorry. I just can't do it later, right? For my Australian people. I'm sorry I can't do later. I'm sorry if I can't do it earlier, if you're in a different time zone. Just 9:30 just works for me. And on that, I have to be a little bit more selfish, right? So Luis, hey Jesse, can you check Rivian? Yeah, I checked it yesterday, and I think I posted in the Discord. It was dropping, right? It had a big drop yesterday, so I don't think there's much to report. But let's take a look at it. You asked, you shall receive, my man. Let's see. Rivian. You ask, you shall receive. You got it. I mean, within reason, right? If you ask me for a bunch of money, right, then I'm going to say no. I'll teach you how to do it, but I'm not going to give you money. So Rivian, right? I didn't ever take a Rivian position, but I know like Arnold was talking about Rivian. I know others were talking about Rivian. They were into it. There was a nice pump. It was starting to get overbought. There was bearish divergence back in here, right? Bearish divergence, lower high, breaking back down the trending dots, closing below the trending dots, right? So it was a good time to take profits, right? If you were in this long position, then it was a good time to take profits up in here. Wherever that is, wherever your strategy is, like, wherever that trigger is for you, a rising wedge, right? You can see it was looking like a rising wedge. It's getting overbought. It's putting in bearish divergence. It's putting in a lower high. It's putting in engulfing candles, right? Right? Engulfing candles, right? Breaking down from an upward trend line, right? There's so many signals that tell you, hey, don't get greedy here. We'll lock in some profits, right? And then it starts to break down. Sell signal. Find support temporarily at a key target area. Bounces. Breaks down from that support, right? Came back and has filled the gap, right? So it's still bearish on the daily chart. Shooter, by the way, what are you laughing at? Shooter, by the way, what are you laughing at? 10, 12 a.m. What are you laughing at? Shooter, by the way. I don't know what you're laughing at. So anyways, where do you take profits? It's still bearish on the daily chart. Weekly chart had the sell signal back here in early October, first week of October, right? It's still bearish, right? Great time to take profit back here. It's not hindsight when it's the daily chart was overbought, aka magic, rising wedge, engulfing bearish candles, bearish divergence, lower high in the daily chart. I mean, you name it. When do you take profit, right? So that's the weekly chart. Let's keep going. Thanks. You got it. Danielson. Danielson. I think I said it right? New here. Welcome, Danielson. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Glad I can catch the live video this time. Awesome. Danielson. Welcome to the channel. We love it. We love the newbies. Well, newer to the channel. I'm not saying you're new to trading or follow me on the X app or anything like that, but welcome to the live stream. Emmanuel, longtime market sniper. Good morning, fam. He's actually been on our private live streams in the Discord as well. He's doing great over there. I think in the near future, like we've had Dr. Nick on Mondays, I think we're going to have either, and I'm just throwing out, whoever can do it. It's an open invitation to the market snipers in the Discord. Possibly Emmanuel, possibly Arnold, possibly Colson. I don't know if Grant is open to it. Some people are camera shy, right? Some people are camera shy. Some people are not. I know Arnold's not camera shy. Emmanuel wasn't camera shy. Dr. Nick wasn't camera shy. I don't know if Grant is. I don't know if Mike G, if it's too early for Mike G. Those are just kind of Colson. I don't know if anyone's camera shy, but we might have you on a Monday. Longtime snipers. We'll just talk charts. talk about your open trades, stuff like that. Can you chart FET? Looking for a swing long and cautions awareness. Let me know, guys, longtime snipers, if you're interested in coming in on a Monday, similar to Dr. Nick. Shoot me a direct message in the Discord, and I'd love to have you on. I like to keep it in-house in the Market Snipers. I know a lot of people do cross collaborations with other people to get more subscribers. I like to keep it with our own people. Maybe we will have collabs one day with bigger accounts to help grow the live streams and grow the channel. But at the end of the day, I like to be surrounded by the snipers, right? So FET. Okay, is that crypto? I can't remember them all, right? Let me look at crypto. FET. I think we charted this one already. Fetch.ai, FET USDT, right? Is that it, Emmanuel? Gotta give me a little bit more information, my man. Come on, help me. Come on, help me. Pending buy signal. I think someone else talked about this. Maybe it was Emmanuel, but pending buy signal, right? So could be breaking out to the upside. Looks like it, right? So possibly could come back up. Yes, sir, that one. All right, awesome. Yeah, I think we've charted this the other day. You or someone else already requested it. So yeah, it's pending buy signal right now, right? So not much else to say. This would be the first candle close back above the trending dots. If it was yesterday or the day before, it was still below it, right? Showing signs of strength. But now we have MACD is pending a bullish crossover, most likely. If I change the settings on the sharpshooter candles 3.1, pending buy signal is going to come back up and test this market. Will it regain the 200-week moving average? We don't know, but it's a pending buy signal right now. Not much to report from yesterday about the weekly chart, but it did have that bullish crossover, but still in bearish territory on the weekly chart. Too early to say, but on the daily chart, pending buy. If you drop down to like a 4-hour chart, probably already had a buy signal, right? Had a buy signal back here at 21 cents. So hope that helps. Not much really to add value on that you probably already don't know, Emmanuel. Running out of water. This is my last sip. Doc, as always, great analysis. Thanks, Doc. Welcome back. Grant, the myth, the legend, Masterson. Grant is on the website with a testimonial video. Market Snipers. I put it out in the Discord a long time ago. Can I get some video testimonials? Who is so afraid of the camera? I don't need a 10-minute rant. I don't need 10 minutes. Give me a 30-second video clip. Give me a 1-minute video testimonial. I want to put some more video testimonials. Grant, thank you so much. I appreciate you putting on. Remember, Grant's the one that started off as an investor. He let me know a while back that he became a swing trader on the daily chart. I think it's awesome we converted him, right? He's been following me a long time on Twitter. He's been following me a long time. One of the first in the Discord as well. Good morning, Grant from Australia. Don't forget your morning swim, my man. Javier, good morning. Have a great Friday. Thank you, Javier. Have a good weekend. Javier, I went to bed at 5:30 a.m., but catch good exit point on BTC. Okay, awesome. So I'm assuming you're in a long position. Leo's Blockchain, welcome back. Hi, Jesse. Thanks for the great show. Thanks, Leo's Blockchain. Thanks for coming back. Thank you for smashing the like button. I know you did, my man. I know you did. Welcome back. Shooter, by the way, I don't know what you're laughing at. Are you laughing at me? What are you laughing at? I'm sure you're laughing at me. What did I do now? Jay James, RNDR, USD. If you can, Jesse, waiting to short on 4-hour sell signal. It's at higher part. A lot of people want me to cover RNDR, whether it's a long, whether it's short. Let's keep covering it. Let's give it the people what they want. This channel is what you guys make of it. It is, I put my best effort and energy into it, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. I'm doing my best. I went out and spent almost a couple $1,000s on equipment and StreamYard, because if we're going to do it, we want to do it right. The video quality wasn't good. The laptop wasn't able to handle it, so we had to go out and get a gaming laptop. we had to plug in a better video system. So if we're going to do this live stream, I mean, we want to do it right. So, hopefully it's worth it. And if it is, then it'll continue to grow. So RNDR, 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 4-hour signal. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. RNDR. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. There we go. There we go. Whoa, whoa, 4-hour chart, right? We talked about this, obviously. Let's clean it up. Let's start over. Let's start over. This is a 4-hour chart, right? It's still bullish on the 4-hour chart. Just got to be careful, right? Guessing and picking tops, right? Still bullish on the 4-hour chart as of right now, right? Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart is ultra bullish, right? So obviously none of this is financial advice, right? And this could be the top, right? We don't know. We don't know if this is top. But me personally, I won't be shorting a 4-hour chart when the daily chart is ultra bullish. So I hope that answers your question. Waiting to short is a good thing. Jay James, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You got to make your own decisions. I'm assuming you're an adult, right? You got to make your own decisions. I personally am not shorting on the 4-hour chart unless you're doing a scalp, unless you're doing a quick intraday trade, a day trade, a scalp, or something like that. That's a little bit different. You could do a counter trade. I'm personally not shorting a 4-hour chart if the daily chart is ultra bullish, right? So, I mean, it could be it could be saying, hey, take profit here. But if it closes up in this area, you could see it's sometimes when the magic happens, right? You could see a bigger move, right? Weekly chart is bullish right now. It's currently bullish on the weekly chart, right? Could it put in a lower high? Absolutely. That's what we were talking about, right? Could it put in a lower high? But it's guessing right now. It's guessing right now. So for me, it's not I'm not shorting on the 4-hour chart. I think you're doing a great job over there, Jay James. And your keyword is waiting patiently, right? You're waiting patiently. Javier, PayPal is finding new lows. Yep. PayPal is finding new lows. One day it will reverse, and one day it will fill some gaps. But today doesn't sound like it's the day. Let's take a look at PayPal. I know it's on the watch list, but I think it's just faster to find it like this. Quick search. Wow, we're going strong. Hour, 22 minutes. I know we have a lot of likes. Do we have a like moderator? Can we get an update on this like situation? I know I'm very concerned about it. We want to hit that goal of 100 likes. Come on. Help me, help you, help me. All right, this is a weekly chart, right? It's bearish on the weekly chart. It's still bearish on the weekly chart. MACD never regained the zero line, right? It started to flip back again, right? Had the weekly sell signal. Alexander, hi Jesse, with last night SEC news. We'll get into all the comments. 3 comments left. Let me know if there's any other comments or follow-up questions. But PayPal continues to be weak on the weekly chart. It's back to 2017 prices, right? 2017 prices. Who would have thought that's possible, right? Well, we did, right? We saw other stocks like Alibaba. We saw 3M that someone wanted me to chart, right? We've seen other stocks take out March 2020 lows, right? We've seen that, right? It's the weekly chart is bearish. The monthly chart has been bearish since November 2021 sell signal. We had a bearish monthly engulfing candle. We had signs of it reversing, right? It's below this 3-month support. I did a video on it. Go take a look at it back there. I ran out of water. We're gonna have to call this soon. We're gonna try to get through it. We're gonna try to power through. It's bearish until it's not. Javier, Leo's blockchain. Jesse, how can I pay your monthly plan from another country? USD, it's okay. Yeah, Leo's, the only payment we have is through Stripe. Stripe payment system is a large payment company. Unfortunately, not every country uses it, but I don't feel comfortable with a lot of payment systems. And as of right now, it doesn't mean Stripe could have an issue, but I think it's a less likely probability that Stripe is Stripe is a secure payment system, right? I don't know. It's not worth it. I only have monthly subscriptions, so it's not worth it for me to like take a chance on another payment system and try to manage multiple payment systems. So unfortunately that sucks. But so I don't know if like there's other ways than other than a credit card through Stripe, like bank to bank. And there's Apple Pay. I think there's Google Pay. I think it's like, like different country payment systems, all that stuff. So I think there's other ways to pay through it through um, there. But maybe if you like sent me crypto like for a whole year on like recorded coaching, it might be worth it. But I don't know. I don't really want to open up that can of worms. So I apologize. I'm sorry about that. It's not ideal. A lot of people from other countries aren't able to participate, but I don't want people to like, I don't want to do some, possible shady payment system that I don't know about. And then people, something happens, right? I'd feel awful. So Emmanuel, yes, sir. That one. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Alexander, hi Jesse. With last night SEC news about dropping charges, can you chart XRP? Yeah, I mean, we can chart XRP, but I'm not going to do it in the name of the SEC news. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it because Alexander, because you asked me nicely. I'm gonna chart it, but I'm not going to do it because of the SEC news. I know it's on the sniper watch list, but to save time, I'm just going to type in XRP. And we'll take a look at it. XRP, right? So what's it doing on the daily chart? So had a buy signal yesterday, right? And let's see, just to kind of go back, looks like MACD crossed yesterday, right? So XRP is one of those other ones. I know there's like the XRP army and all that stuff. So don't shoot the messenger, but XRP isn't like one of those assets that I personally would trade personally. So maybe you're a long time investor or something, but I'm going to chart it for you like as a request because you requested it. But this is a pump and dump. It's notorious for pumping and dumping one day, like similar to like other assets that we've covered recently on this live stream that, it's like catching lightning in a bottle. And so it's very difficult, but there was a buy signal yesterday. So that is some positivity, right, for you if you're an XRP army person. We got a pending buy signal on the weekly chart. I would just be cautious, ultra cautious. It could be a sell the news type of situation. Maybe it is reversing back around, right? Maybe it'll regain the 200 moving average. Maybe it'll get back on the weekly chart, back above the trending dots. It has not yet, right? Maybe it will, like this buy signal back here where it regains the trending dots and then pumps up, right? It's below the trending dots. MACD still had a bearish crossover on the weekly chart. So not much to report other than the daily chart had a buy signal, but it'd be error on the side of caution with the weekly chart. Last comment. Looks like we're getting to the last comment here. Hassan, Jesse, it would be perfect to make payment with crypto too. I know, Hassan. I don't know. Maybe I could look into it more because I've been getting requests on that for more than a year and a half. And even before that, December 2021, when I rolled out the paid newsletter, we no longer have a paid newsletter. It's only a free newsletter. So definitely go check it out over there. And I have a market sniper talking about possibly taking over the free newsletter, helping me out and building the free newsletter, giving better and more free content through the newsletter, probably at least once per week, right? And so I'm excited about that. Market sniper over there. So in the near future, but long story short is maybe if you guys have comment what crypto payment system that is very reliable out there, let me know what it is. And I could definitely look at it, but it might only possibly worth it. Plus, it was in the bear market, so I didn't want to take crypto and then have to try to manage all those crypto funds because if I took payment a year and a half ago in crypto and then it drops 80%, it's not worth it, right? But after 80 to 90% off, right? Maybe I'll take Bitcoin crypto or Ethereum or something like that. Maybe it'd be worth it. I definitely didn't want to do it in the bear market, right? Because then you pay with crypto, it loses 80% value, or I have to convert it to cash, right? So, and then I'm paying, probably tax on it or something like that. So I don't know. That's why it's not really worth it. But comment amazing crypto payment system, and maybe it'd be worth it if enough people ask about it. BTC payment is the best way, Jesse. Best tool equals best coin. Yeah. Okay. Leo's blockchain. If I were to do it, that probably makes sense for me. So let me know, like, is there a crypto payment system that I can manage it? Like, or is it better just to give you a Bitcoin crypto wallet? It's going to be harder to manage that because here's the thing. With Stripe, once you make payment, you automatically get a link to Discord. You automatically get a link to the short form to fill out your trading view name and your Discord name and all that stuff. So it's more automated. So I would have to take a step back and have to go back to like more manual entries again. And I was trying to get away from that. So let me know your thoughts. If there's like a awesome crypto payment system like Stripe payment, I would consider adding it to, but I would want to have it like more automated than like you just send me it to a wallet. How am I going to manage all that? Right. It'd be hard to manage it. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Lightning, Sol, XRP. Yeah. Okay. But you have to manage it to where like you make a crypto payment and then you automatically receive the link to the private Discord, and you automatically, like, you need a thank you page, right? So let me know if there's a crypto payment system that upon crypto payment that it gives you a thank you page that allows me to have uh, an automatic Discord payment and a short form to fill out so I can add you to the indicators, right? So let me know. Direct message me on the X app, comment it here on YouTube, or direct message me if you're in the Discord, all that stuff. So with all that said, let's take a quick glance over at Bitcoin. Still ultra bullish as of right now in the daily chart, but it went all the way up to $30,200 today. A wick as of right now. We're more interested in the candle closes and, of course, the weekly closes as well, right? So that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Still, this is the weekly chart, still breaking down on the daily chart, right? That's about it. Anything else? Awesome. If not, hope everyone has a good weekend. Make sure when the markets close, get outside, get some of that vitamin D, go on a hike, go for a run, go for a swim if you're like Grant. My niece is in town. She's an older niece. She's my oldest niece that I have. She's like 28, I think. She's coming with her partner, Zach, and their daughter. She's got a three-year-old daughter. She's I don't know, maybe four. This is bad. 4-year-old daughter, 3-year-old daughter, but she's high energy. She's awesome, always smiling. And they're coming in town for the weekend. And so we're going to take them to the beach Saturday, get outside. And then we're taking them to Disneyland. So we'll be taking my niece's daughter to Disneyland for the first time ever. So we're going to spend some time with the family, get outside, beach day on Saturday, followed by Disneyland. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support. Thank you for smashing the like button, and we'll see you on Monday. Later.